officially live with how to become the trusted and recognized authority to make 2017 the most profitable year yet. So, like I said, we've got a lot of content that we're going to cover off tonight, and there'll be a question and answer session. If you've got questions, drop them into either the questions box or the chat box as we make our way through. If you want a copy of the presentation, feel free to hang around. Just remind me at the end in the Q&A session, and I will send you a copy of the PowerPoint. Just want to make sure you're seeing my my screen. You should be seeing the PowerPoint presentation. Let me know if you're not seeing that at the moment. So again, like I said, we got a lot of content. You want the PowerPoint, just drop me a note at the end, and I can happily send that to you. If you, like I said, the other thing, we've got a lot of content. If you want help with this at the end, I will show you some ways that you can get help. But there's going to be plenty of useful and valuable content for you in this presentation. So just a little bit about me. I am Mark. I run the Public Speaking Skills Academy. For those of you that haven't met me or this is your first interaction with me, I've got a background in technology, and it was through my experience in working in the IT industry where in a very short space of time, I trebled my income, not because of my technical know-how, but because of my ability to communicate and influence others, and influence, more importantly, those above me, to make decisions and change the direction of projects that I got promoted. And like I said, pretty much trebled my income in about 1.5 to 2 years because of what I'm going to teach you here. And it applies equally in your career as what it does in business. And I'm applying those exact same principles that I used in my career in business to achieve exactly the same results, and I'm experiencing some wonderful business growth as a result, just from my ability to influence and communicate with others. What we're going to cover tonight is plenty of information that is going to make a difference to you. It's proven techniques, and like I say, it's techniques that I use, and I'm not going to hold anything back. You can ask questions and get anything from me here tonight. This is a live interactive webinar. I'm not going to hide anything. If you've got a question, ask it, and we will get it answered here and now in this session. If there's something that comes to you beyond this session, there's something that's, as you're sitting there thinking about the information either later tonight, tomorrow, or in the days and weeks ahead, at the end of this presentation, you'll have my email address. You can feel free to email me, give me a call, get in contact with me, whether it's through the website, through email, through whatever mechanism is your choice, and I will answer your questions and give you the hand that you need to move forward in your business and in your careers. Question for you to start out the webinar. Is it harder for you to get clients today than it has been in the past? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Just a simple yes or no answer. Just type into the chat box or into the question box. Let me know if you're finding it harder to get clients today. Wayne says yes. What about you, Angela? I know you're online. Are you finding it easier or harder to get clients in the current market environment? Okay, let's push on and start out with something that I think is really important for you to get into and understand, and that is, firstly, think about and consider why it is so important for you to be seen as an expert in your field. Now, experts stand out. This is, I mean, it's evident, it's obvious, but it's really important that in a crowded marketplace where your clients are looking at the field, and in today's marketplace, it's easy for people to go and assess different coaches, different consultants, and decide who they want to work with. You need to find a way to stand out. And experts stand out. They have that presence, they have that name recognition, they have that reputation that enables them to stand out from the crowd and attract more clients that way. It's obvious, but it's really important to understand this. Because they stand out, it's not just clients that are attracted to them. It's media and public relations opportunities that come to them. It's that free publicity. That publicity that every business owner is craving and would love to get their hands on. It goes to the respected and recognized authority in the field because they're recognized. The media wants to do their job, but they don't want to work too hard. I mean, they're like the rest of us. They want to make their job, their life as easy as possible. So they will go for the trusted name, the trusted authority in the marketplace, in the field, and ask them for quotes, ask them to be features of articles. They will publicize and publish their work because it's a safety factor for them. So as a result, when you're the respected and trusted authority in a marketplace, it actually becomes easier to maintain that position. Now, the challenge for those trying to get to that number one spot is you've got to overcome that. But once you get there, you've got to make sure that as the trusted leader, you're leveraging that media attention and maximizing it and exploiting it for all that you can. Importantly, it changes the dynamic of client conversations. As the guru, as the recognized authority, it becomes from a case of where you're no longer chasing clients. Clients actually come to you and are chasing you because you're the leader. They want to work with you. They don't want to work with the second-ranked authority or the second-ranked person or business. They want to work with the number one team, the number one person. So they will then come and chase you. You become the prize in the process. So it changes that dynamic, which makes sales so much easier because all of a sudden it's no longer about what do you charge. It's about I don't care what you charge. I know you're the best. I want to work with you. Which ties in nicely. You get to charge the higher fees. If you're the second place, the third place, fourth ranked business coach, consultant, person in your field, the amount of money that you can charge is going to be determined by what the fees are of the top ranked coach, consultant, business sets. In other words, no customer or client in their right mind is going to pay you more when they could pay less and work with the better ranked or the better recognized authority. So when you're not the leader, you can't charge the fees that you want. As the leader in the field, you get to determine what it is you're going to charge. So you can charge as much as you want and pay, and it's only determined by how much the market will pay. It's not determined by how much someone else charges. So you get to set the fees at the levels that you want. When you are the leader in the field, more businesses, more importantly, better businesses, better partners want to come with you to work on joint ventures, which again makes life easier for you in terms of expanding and growing your sales and growing your business, because your ability to work with particular businesses is exponentially increased. You get to pick and choose. You can now be very selective on the projects and on the partnerships that you work on to get you the maximum potential income coming in. Whereas when you're second or third place, you're going to have to take the offcuts, shall we say. So the question is, we understand why it's so important to be seen as an expert. The question is, how can you get there? How can you be seen as an expert? I mean, what activities are you undertaking today that you believe is going to help you be positioned as an expert? Be curious to know, as we go through this list here, I'd love to get your thoughts, your opinions on what ones you're doing, whether or not you think you're doing them well or you could be doing them better, and if there's ones here that you're not doing that you think you should be doing. The first aspect in terms of becoming recognized as the trusted leader, trusted authority, is to have a perfect elevator pitch. You've got to have the right pitch to introduce yourself to the room. It comes back to the old adage of first impressions count. If the first impression of someone of you when they meet you is that you can't articulate what it is you do, you can't articulate who you work with, and you can't articulate the benefits of why your ideal clients work with you, that's not going to exude confidence. It's not going to exude that presence that says that Wayne, that Angela, that whoever knows their stuff. They know what it is they do. They know how well they do it, and they can communicate it. So it's a basic step. It's a basic business step, but it's fundamental, and it's a step that many business owners and leaders struggle with, is that they can't articulate their elevator pitch and introduce themselves effectively. It's foundational, but it's the first thing that you've got to have nailed to start to set yourself up to be seen as the expert and authority in your field. Secondly, you've got to start producing content. You've got to produce authority content. Now, this is important to understand because some people will pull together one blog, one article, one video and think that's enough. Now, it's important to understand that authority content can be any of those. It can be an audio package. If you're a podcast person, that can be your authority content. That's perfectly legitimate, perfectly fine. But you've got to make it understand that one podcast, one video, one article, one whatever is not sufficient. You need to be producing it on a regular basis. Now, regular can be fortnightly. It can be at a minimum, I would suggest monthly, but I would encourage you to try and go for more frequent than monthly. So fortnightly, ideally weekly, producing out high quality content that your ideal market, your target market can consume. Through that content, you've got to be setting the agenda. You don't want to be seen as the same as everybody else. You want to show a level of differentiation. That means it's okay to be controversial. It's okay to have a different opinion. Your recognition, your reputation, and your opportunity to be remembered is going to be determined, or is going to be heavily influenced by your ability to be a little bit different, a little bit controversial. You don't want to be vanilla. If everyone else is saying, has a certain opinion on a particular topic in your field, find an angle, find a way that you can be a bit different, be a little bit controversial to get the attention of your readers, of your viewers, of whoever, so that they start to take notice of what it is you have to say. And then you have to go into what I call the third pillar of authority, and that's the promotion aspect. So you've got your great content, but it's no good just putting it out there and publishing it on your blog, publishing it on LinkedIn. You've got to get out there and get your content viewed and consumed. Now, there's ways that you can obviously do that. Primarily, one of the mechanisms is through your social media. So you want to be out there pumping your content, sharing it regularly on social media. One of the mistakes that's often made is that people think that I've published an article, I've told everyone on Facebook about that article, and that's it. That's it considered promoted. Now, that doesn't cut it. That really isn't sufficient. The reason that that's not sufficient is that, the current estimations are that around 2% of your followers will see a post that you put onto Facebook. So if only 2% of your followers are seeing it, you're not getting anywhere near enough readership. So it means that it's okay to promote and to post the same article onto the social media platforms multiple times, because the chances of someone seeing it 2-3 times it's infinitesimal. So don't be afraid to post it multiple times. You also want to be using and leveraging the social media platforms for using things like live video to complement the content that you're producing. A great way to help get extra readership is to have your content produced, then do, for example, a Facebook live video that complements that talks about that content so that people see the Facebook live. You're going to have the link to the content and people can go and click onto it and read it after the fact. So again, it's just ways about trying to be creative and getting your social media there. Then there's obviously the paid promotion techniques, and they're important too. You can start to build up a good following and build up attraction on your website, build up traction into your newsletter email lists when you use paid promotional strategies, combining it with your content. Like I say, your whole focus and aim here is to get attention. So don't be afraid to draw your existing target audience, the ones that you have in your email database, to your new ones in terms of on social media, Facebook. You've really got to be, like I said, constantly drawing people's attention to the fact that you have content out there. This is a far more effective strategy than just having an advertisement, for example, on Facebook, promoting to people to a particular special that you have, to a particular post or to a promotion that you've got on. Make sure that you're promoting to your content, because it builds that like, know, and trust factor. And that's what's going to differentiate you and help set you up for success with your authority marketing. But as I say, it's got to be consistent. So it's got to be consistent from a new content generation, but it's also got to be consistent from a promotional point of view. One of the great techniques that I work with clients on is to help them establish their newsletter, so that the newsletter, they can go out and you align it to your content production strategy, so that if you commit to doing a blog every fortnight, your newsletter goes out every fortnight. So that way you produce the blog, you produce the newsletter, which then publishes and promotes that blog entry or blog article to your readership in your newsletter, so that they're seeing it. So that way, even if someone's not ready to buy today, when they're on your newsletter, you can keep in contact with them, and maybe in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time, they'll read your article that you send to them, and bang, that's when it triggers them over the line to say, oh, now I'm ready to work with Wayne, I'm ready to work with Angela, ready to work with whoever. So you need to have that constant outreach that aligns with your content production strategies, and that's where your email newsletter is vital. It also helps you promote and push out other activities such as webinars and other events that you're doing to help, again, position you out as the authority in the marketplace. Our next pillar is networking. Now, networking comes in both forms here. This is networking in person and networking online. So networking in person, you want to be finding the right events, finding the right places to go to. And this is crucial because you can spend a lot of time networking in the wrong places. You can go to events where your target market doesn't exist, or if they do exist, they're too small at that particular stage in their business life cycle to invest in your products or services. So you've got to make sure you're hitting the right events that have got the right people that are in the right frame of mind. Now, whether it's to actually refer to you or refer work to you or to become clients, make sure you're choosing the right networking events in person. Then you can couple that with your online networking. But remember, networking is really powerful because you get to go out and meet the movers and shakers. So you get to associate with success, and when you're associating with successful people, that helps lift your game. So it's really important that you find those successful people at the right networking events and go and hang out with them. As a result, you build a following. Your key through networking is to build a following of, basically build yourself a tribe of people who follow your content, are interested in you, what you do, they like you, they want to support you. It's important to note here, I'm not necessarily talking just solely about customers. It's not only about finding customers at networking events. And to be honest, that's probably your lowest priority when you attend a networking event. You're not there to find business, not directly in the room. You're looking to find business through the people in the room. So it's all about building relationships. And that's how you build your relationships to create, for example, joint venture partners. So on the screen there, we've got Ed and Martha, who I've worked with at events. We've pulled together events where the three of us come in together. We share the effort in terms of promoting and filling the event. We each get a turn on stage to get the benefits of producing and publishing content, sharing our expertise to find new clients. You can get referrals. So this here is Dave Cowling from D&M Video. We've referred work to one another on numerous occasions. We met at a networking event. We would never otherwise come across each other, but we've been able to help each other grow our business because we developed a relationship. He understood my expertise, I understood his, and we've worked together to create through both joint venture and referring work to one another. The final and most, in my perspective, the most strongest and most important pillar out of the authority and influencing strategies is to really speak and sell from the stage. If you're not getting up and taking the opportunity to stand in front of an audience, and particularly when that audience is your target market, that's a target-rich environment, you've got to be standing there in front of them. I'd be curious to know, do you take the opportunity now to speak at events? Are you actively searching out places where you can stand on stage in front of your target market to just demonstrate your expertise? So you're not actively looking for speaking opportunities, Wayne. I'm just curious, why is that? Is there a reason? Okay, while Wayne puts in an answer on that one, let's put in. So there's no real reason for you, Wayne, just haven't got around to it. That's not uncommon, but let me, I suppose, emphasize to you the value of it is that you get the opportunity to share your expertise, share your story, which builds the like, know, and trust factor. And it builds it in a way where your target market, if you can get into the right events, your target market has dedicated their attention to you. And that's the key bit there, is that in the world today, we're competing for the attention of our clients. We're competing against so many different factors. If we take, for example, just the comparison, say, with Facebook. On a Facebook feed, you can publish your content there and people will see it, but they can quite easily brush past it and move on to the next thing. When you speak at events, your clients have made the choice to come to that event. They're going to dedicate their attention to you. Now, in a situation where you've got your clients and you've potentially got your competitors in the room, if you're standing there on stage, you have the full attention of your target market. Your competitors would be loving the opportunity to be where you are because you're the one speaking, you're the one that's got the full attention, demonstrating your expertise, building that trust factor. That's an opportunity that they can't have. So if you can fill a room with 50 people who are your target market, you've got the eyes, ears, and attention of 50 people who were looking to potentially buy your products and services. Maybe not necessarily today, but at some point in the future, you can build that relationship with them in far stronger, far quicker, far more effectively than any other of your competitors can. There's a couple of ways that you can do this. Firstly, you can go and look at finding other people's events. There are networking events. There are events all around the joint where you can look to hunt them out and go and offer to speak at those events. They're always looking for speakers because they want to provide both the networking and the educational value proposition to people to get them in there. And so you can come in and offer to provide for free an opportunity for you to sort of demonstrate your expertise. And I will talk about what needs to go into one of these pitches in upcoming slides. But you've got the option there to go and position yourself by speaking at someone else's event. They've done all the legwork. You get to share in the glory and reap the benefits of it. Conversely, you can go off like Ed, Martha, and myself have done. We've gone off and created our own events. There are opportunities there for you to go off and pull together a room, get people in there and speak to them. You don't have to share the stage with anybody else. And like I'm doing tonight, you can create your own events online. You can run webinars that you attract your target market into. They come along and listen, and you don't have to do it without leaving the office or leaving home. You can, wherever you're based, you can run that event, and you can run it in any time zone to any time that suits your schedule. It's one of the reasons I particularly love webinars. They're a great low-cost, low-risk event that you can run online and get heaps of value from. So let's question you. What happens to you and your business if you don't become an expert? Well, as I've already sort of touched on, your competitors are going to take the spotlight. If you don't jump into that position and grab the spotlight, your competitors will, which means they're getting the focus and attention of your target market. Ultimately, it means they're getting your customers' money, not you. As a result, like I said, the best clients are going to work with the best in the business. That leaves you, if you're not being recognized as being the best, you're working with the B's, the C's, the D grade clients, and ultimately you're getting D grade fees. You're not earning the money that you can and should be earning because of that. You're also working much harder. You're working harder to get clients, and when you do get the clients, because they're not the A grade clients, they're not the clients that you really want to be working with, the work that you have to do feels that much harder for them. Your fees are lower, and worse than just having low fees, your income potential is capped. It's determined by someone else. So, if you want to start getting up there and speaking, you want to use the opportunity to sell yourself on the stage, and even if it's just a one-on-one sales pitch or a broader sales pitch, here are 10 mistakes that I need you to really think about avoiding. Make sure that you don't make these mistakes because they are going to cost you money. Firstly, allowing fear to hold you back. If the fear of getting up and speaking to an audience is the reason you haven't chased down those speaking opportunities, don't let it hold you back. Fear is something that is, I mean, I won't do the false expectations appearing real. That's, you know, and it's all fluffy. But the reality is, what we think is going to happen and what the audience perceives are two vastly different things. If you sat in an audience and you've watched a speaker, you want them to succeed, and I've got a whole piece that I do around this, but it's around saying, recognizing that as an audience, you want the speaker to do well because it's better for an audience member and it's obviously better for the speaker. So remember, you've got the goodwill of everyone, so don't allow fear to hold you back. Pitches and presentations go wrong when there is no rapport with the people in the room. And there are easy strategies, easy techniques that we can put in to help you create that rapport and avoid a disconnect between you and the audience where you're heading in one direction, their thoughts are in another, and as a result, you don't get the impact and effect that you were expecting. It's important that when you deliver your pitch, you've got a clear purpose. Excuse me while I just take a quick drink of water. If you don't know what you want to have happen at the end of your sales pitch, at the end of your educational presentation, you've got no direction, no roadmap. And as a result, your audience doesn't know what you really want them to be thinking. It comes through in your preparation, it comes through in your delivery. So make sure that when you're delivering a presentation, delivering your pitch, it's got a clear purpose. You know what you want to have happen next. And it's okay to be you. It's okay to be a bit quirky, a bit different. Be who you are. Your success when pitching is really going to be down to your ability to build a rapport. We spoke a couple of slides ago about having a disconnect. One of the ways that you get a disconnect is your audience will sense when you are being inauthentic. You have got to be who you are. You've got to allow your personality to come through. So that means if you're a bit loud and a bit brash, be a bit loud, be a bit brash on stage. Don't try and hide that to try and be something you're not. Allow your personality, your individuality to shine through. And then ignoring pain points. Your success when pitching, when delivering a presentation is always going to be around how well you talk about the problems, the situations, the pain points that your clients have. If you're ignoring those or not articulating them in a way and showing them in a way that your clients go, I get it. Wayne understands me. Angela understands my challenges. They're not going to trust you enough to buy from you and invest in your products, invest in you and your services. So it means you've really got to work hard and think about how you can target your clients' pain points and make sure that you share it with them in a way that shows that you care effectively. And unprepared, so I come across clients that have a level of self-confidence, should we say a too healthy ego, where they're not prepared properly for their presentation. As a result, they start to see some of these other mistakes come through in the sense of no clear purpose, a disconnect. You've got to take the time to prepare. You're not going to be able to get up and just wing a great pitch, a great sales presentation like that. It takes time, it takes effort, and a bit of thinking about how you can go about maximizing your time in front of the audience to get the most value from it. So take the time to prepare. And it doesn't have to be days and weeks. It can even be as simple as just an hour or so. Just thinking about your presentation will make the world of difference. And don't be boring. Keep it upbeat, keep it interesting, keep it exciting. We live in an edutainment world today. Our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. It means you need to be more interesting, make it enjoyable, make people laugh. Don't be afraid to throw in a bit of humor into your presentation. Keep it interesting, because when they laugh, they learn. And when they learn, they're opening their minds to what it is you're saying. So keep your pitch interesting. Don't put people to sleep. And have an irresistible offer for your audience at the end of it. Have something that they want, that they're going to go, thank you very much, Wayne. Thank you very much, Angela. Thank you very much, David. I want your offer. I want what it is you have, because I've seen that A, I've got a trust factor with you because you've built the credibility, you've built a connection with them. You've demonstrated that you know your stuff, you know your content, you've got expertise, and you have an offer which they can't refuse because you've spoken about their pain points and you've crafted an offer which is going to help solve their particular issues. And deliver with passion. Have energy and enthusiasm. And this applies across two aspects. Many people can deliver their educational part of their pitch, the informational part, with real passion because they love to teach, they love to share their expertise, they want to show that they know their stuff, and that's wonderful. But when it comes to delivering the close and delivering the offer, there's a shyness, there's a reservedness that's, oh, by the way, this is how I can help you if you want to pay for some products or some services. You've got to have that same passion, that energy that you had through the delivery of your education or your informational piece come through when you deliver your offer. You've got to deliver with real passion to say, well, I know you have a problem and this is how I can help you, and I know that my solutions are the best solutions for you since sliced bread. So have some real passion all the way through. And don't transition weakly into close. Have a good, solid, honest transition to say, that's how I can help. This is how I can help you further if you want some assistance. So let's go through a quick 6-step model that will show you how you can deliver a persuasive pitch. This is it here. You start out with a meet and greet. You see that this then starts to destroy some of those mistakes that get made. You now have an opportunity to build a connection and build rapport with the audience. You then go through an opening, you share your story, you share your content, you provide your offer, and you go through Q&A. Meet and greet, whether it's a webinar or whether it's an in-person presentation, you want to be getting out there, meeting and greeting your clients or your audience members as they arrive. Opportunity to build rapport, opportunity to get a hold of pain points, things that they're saying that you can play back to them, because when you pick up their issues, their challenges, and you return it back to them in the way that they speak about it, you're going to have far more impact. It shows that you know, you care, you understand. You also build that trust factor, that rapport. You then go through your opening and your welcome, and this is where you set the scene and set expectations. Particularly on a webinar, for example, you want to set up how the webinar will run, whether you'll take questions throughout, and just create a little bit of an engagement, make sure that people recognize they're in the right spot. You then go and share your story. This doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be excessive. It's about sharing positioning yourself as the expert. Why should someone stay and listen to your presentation? You'll notice at the start of this webinar, I gave just a very brief background as to why I do what I do. You need to be doing the same. You can make sure that you can tailor it and phrase it for the room that you're talking to. If you're talking to a series of business owners, you can tailor your story to how you've been in business and how that relates to them. If you're talking to engineers, you might tailor your story, your background to be engineering specific and focused and relatable. You can adapt the story. It doesn't mean you change the essence of your story, change the way you describe it to be more relevant. You then share your valuable content. This is where you get to deliver your expertise. You get to go off and show how you understand your clients' problems and how they can be solved generally. And this isn't about having a 30-minute or a 60-minute sales pitch. It's about saying, this is how the problems that you experience can be solved at a higher level, at a broader spectrum. Your offer for that and how you can particularly solve them comes with your close, where you share your irresistible offer. You share with them that you understand their challenges, you understand their pain points, and this is the particular solution that you have that will solve their particular issues. And then you just conduct a Q&A. Now, Q&A should be done throughout the pitch, but you should also hang around and deliver a Q&A session that afterwards. So basically you stand there and you answer questions until there are no more. So don't rush off. Unless you absolutely have to, you really want to be giving yourself time to just answer all the questions that come up. Now, once you get to the Q&A session, the way in which you answer the questions differs in that you want to be answering the questions that are asked on the basis of how your product or your solution solves and relates back to the particular question. So you always put that sort of that veneer over the answer that you provide, so that it becomes then part of an extension of the close, an extension of you sharing your offer. Now, I said earlier, sorry, I've missed a section. We're going to go here into why you should become the expert. We've touched on this already, but it's really important that you and your business own the spotlight, because if it's not you in the spotlight, it's your competitors. When your competitors have the spotlight, they are getting to work with the clients. When you have the spotlight, you get to work with the clients that you choose. You don't get to have to sort of take the second best. You get to pick and choose the people you work with, and that means it's more enjoyable for you. As a result, you're going to feel like, and you are going to work less. Marketing and sales becomes less challenging. It becomes easier for you, and as a result, so there's less work on your plate there. The other avenue is that the work you do with the clients is more enjoyable. And when you're doing that, when you are the expert, you get to set the fees. You get to charge the premium fees. No one else determines what your income is. You set the benchmark, and everyone else has to follow. So you get to charge the premium fees and work with the best clients in the process. That sounds like a nice deal, really does. So if you want some help, if you want help with this, if you want help with either your content generation, your elevator pitch, your sales pitch, and running events and creating your own events, then I have some options here for you. Firstly, if you want to just understand how you can get better at any one of these and where you're potentially lacking, then why don't you come and take me up for this complimentary authority and influence audit. We'll go through and we'll have a look at your elevator pitch, your content generation and the frequency, how you're producing it, promoting it, how you look at your networking and social media activities, and then how you're speaking and selling from the stage and events. By the end of that session, you'll know what you need to do to become the recognized expert in your field. If that's something that interests you, then go to the website there at Academy.com/audit and sign up. You can also just drop a comment into the box here and I'll reach out to you afterwards and we'll book in a time to sit down and we'll go through this online and go through and see where you stand today. If you want to, there is a self-training option, which is my a sales presentation, and that's a great course, that one, because that's actually a recording of a full-day workshop. So you get access to the full-day workshop plus the same materials that the students on the day did, and you get to see their coaching and how their pitches evolved with practice and with coaching. We've also got networking course in there. There's content generation, how to set up your email newsletter, plus you get access to the secret Facebook group, so members-only Facebook group, where you can ask your questions and get the answers that you need to help you position yourself as the authority in the market. You can, if you want to sign up for that, that's on the homepage of the Public Speaking Skills Academy.com. If you want some coaching and mentoring to assist you in the process, then check out my online mastermind group. We meet once a month where we will come in and we go into each of these areas in depth. You get to network and liaise with the other students and the other participants on the mastermind group, and you get to bounce your ideas off me and off them, and together we work so that you're lifting up your authority and influencing activities. So again, across all of the areas, from your elevator pitch through networking, through webinars, events, sales pitches, all comes together, content generation. So, and with that mastermind group, we get together and help push you on and hold you accountable so that you can make things happen quicker. And then if you decide that you don't want to work as part of a group, I have a one-on-one mentoring option where we can work together across all of the authority pillars to get you and help you grow your business and take it to where you want to. So they're the three options for you. You can find each of those on the website. If you've got any questions or you want to sign up for any of them, feel free to drop a comment into the comments box and I'll follow up with you afterwards. But that's everything I want to share with you tonight. Any questions? there's no questions, then there are my contact details. I'd encourage you to email me if you want a copy of the presentation. Let me know and I'll send it out to you. Otherwise, the replay will go up and it'll be available in about 24 hours or so, and I will send that out to you. Wonderful. Well, thank you for your time tonight. It's been a pleasure. I always love delivering these events. So we will wrap it up here, and thanks for your time.